Good morning, everybody. I'm creating another video of my progress for this morning. I'm currently up $3,589 on all 20 of my accounts. I am up, about $80 on the micro paid accounts, fully funded accounts that I have, which is 14 fully funded accounts. And then I am up $417 on my unpaid accounts. They're more than halfway through, which to the profit target. Once they get funded, I'll either continue trading full contracts on them, or I might switch over to trade micros on them. I do have a link below explaining the funded accounts, how they work, and so on. There's a link to that website below. Um, and I do plan to create a video explaining more about those funded accounts and how they work and how I use them. So stay tuned for that. Let's jump in real quick to talking about the trades, my logic behind taking those trades. So basically, this morning we had the inflation report, which was it rallied significantly after that. We had a lot of volume that built up in this 5 o'clock hour, and then at open, basically the 6 o'clock range, it started selling off. You could see by there's a cluster of orders here, and that's what I was looking at. So basically, it started retracing higher, and I was initially bearish because of the value being dropping the last 2 hours. And so basically, once it tested this area, this cluster of orders here, I saw a little bit. I saw some a decent amount of sellers that came into this area. I did get a slightly bad price. I after it started selling off, I took a short at 52.25, and then it went against me right away. But my stop was basically about 61. It was a pretty big stop, and but this area held. There continue to be sellers, basically 734, 1,300, 500, and then eventually it started pushing lower. The thing is, I did take profit a little bit earlier, unfortunately, because I actually didn't have time to move it quickly. It was because this move happened really fast. But the plan was it's into this area of orders here. That's why I had an initial target here, kind of right before it. So I didn't have time, so it could have been a lot bigger profit because I missed out on kind of like the rest of this move down, which is unfortunate. But still locked in for the day. I did have this logic too. We do have FOMC minutes coming up later today, and a lot of times the market is a little bit choppy there, so I wasn't trying to basically risk a lot of my profits in trying to wait for a bigger move. So this is a 1 minute bars on MES. Basically, I forgot to mention, I did do a quick one contract scalp here. I didn't like almost as soon as I took this, I kind of realized I shouldn't be in this trade yet. I want to get a better price, so I took a very small, about like a $14 profit on one contract here, and good thing I did because it just went up right away, and then I got a slightly better price. And this is what I was talking about, because I shorted here. It went against me like almost instantly, then pulled back, and like I said, I didn't have time to move these orders lower, so didn't make as much as I could have potentially today. But still, very, very good profits for the day. Here's an example of the 1 minute chart on ES. Basically, that's what I was seeing. So I shorted 52.25. It pulled back against me right away, and then eventually sold off and locked in. About 337 on ES contracts, and again, the reason why I've going back to my performance of daily performance, it's a 420. I made 420 total on ES contracts because it's I'm trading micros as well as ES on those accounts. So it's basically one full contract ES and then two micros in those scenarios. So that kind of summarizes um, summarizes the logic behind me taking those trades. I do definitely regret taking a profit here. There was 5,300 sellers here, which is significant. You do want to keep holding that. Ideally, I try to do like a trailing stop below, like so it'd be like almost hiding behind all of these orders here at like let's say 54. Once this bar closes, once this bar closes, I would move my stop there. Once this bar closes, I would move my stop to about like 46.50. And then when I saw that this aggressive buyers here, I usually, I think at around like 41.39, 41.30, it was already showing like positive 2,000 delta. I would have just locked in the profits probably around that price. But worst case scenario, I would have got out at like 43.75 as it's breaking out of this bar, and slightly better price than where I got out. But I did consider taking a reshort at 41.36 at the break of this bar right here, because it's basically the logic there is if all of these buyers that are in this bar, anything below this price, they're all of these buyers are stuck in this price range, whatever the price might be. So they're gonna try to get out for a loss, and then that's why you had a 6,200 negative sellers, and then just pushed lower into. Initially, it did pause at the first extension line of the opening range, and then eventually just broke it. Not enough buyers here at all, and then paused at the 100% retracement of the opening range, and then that's when you started seeing a lot of sellers, 2,200, and just been kind of grinding up without almost any sellers until basically currently right now. It's shaping up where there is about 1,000 negative sellers. So yes, I am. This is actually a potential. I would be potentially interested in this short. Again, this is not financial advice, but I would be potentially interested in the short. The only thing I don't like is it's 9 o'clock, and we might see kind of this chop around here. Ideally, I would want this price up here, which into this cluster of orders. And if I saw this picture here, I would probably take it. But it looks like it did try to push out of this hour value, and it's finding sellers. So like I said, yeah, like this does look like an interesting short, but it is kind of going against this like a almost potentially a V-shaped recovery. So hard to tell. I might make some more trades around from 10 to 11, but then I am cautious about the FOMC minutes also. So I might just call it a day and just keep my profits. Nasdaq, quickly to summarize, very similar picture. We had the inflation report. Pulled back. Yeah, it didn't reach that area that I was talking about. It's a little bit weaker today, and then but for me, it was enough to see that hey, Nasdaq is not making new highs or like beating this area when ES, let's say, isn't. That way, I would be more cautious on ES short, but it was even weaker, so that means it's potentially gonna drag ES also lower. So that was kind of I do combine those daily every day because it's important to look at both markets, because we have way too many stocks in S&P 500 that are Nasdaq stocks, and vice versa. So it's good to look at both. And yeah, I think that kind of summarizes the trading, my logic behind it. I am planning to create another video, maybe today or tomorrow, about more talking about the funded accounts. Like I mentioned, I did have another account that got funded last night. So we'll definitely talk more about that. And yeah, show like kind of the how it, like the process behind it being funded and so on. And so I think that kind of summarizes everything. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Leave it in the comments below. I'll definitely answer. And Yeah, feel free to subscribe if this information is useful. I do plan to create a lot more educational videos on my overall strategy plan in trading, not necessarily what happens on the daily trading. So, um, thank you so much for watching, and good luck on the rest of the day.